What's up, everybody? Master Reactor here, and today I have a replay versus a zombie double cost down merchant deck. Merchant zombie, I guess is what he said it was called, and it's versus ggloser. This guy's username is pretty damn cool. I like that, ggloser. ggloser. So I throw paper, he throws paper. And I throw rock, and he stays on paper. So he gets me in the RPS. So a really bad start right now, but it's okay. This went to a game 3, so a pretty close match here. He opens Mirror Force, Reaper, Faith, Book of Life, Duo, and Double Costin. I've got pretty bricked up hand here. And it's not the worst, but it could be better, obviously. So I got Card Destruction, Faith, Sinister, Snatch, and Wing Blast. So he duos and picks my Wing Blast, and I throw out the Sinister. And he sets the double cost down with the Mirror Force, and he passes. I draw into the Mask of Darkness, so he does this because he wants me to bait a knock right now. But I don't have knocks, so let's see what I decide to do. I decide just to set Snatch Steal, and I set the Mask of Darkness, and I just pass. He draws into a Koki. Okay. He runs out the Spirit Reaper, and then he flips the double cost in. And he runs into my mask. I grab back my Wing Blast. And he hits me for 300 here. And real fortunate for me, he gets a Sinister. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. So that was real nice. And he just passes. I draw into Night Assailant, which is a really good draw right here. I grab back my Sinister, and I just hit him with the Card Destruction here. Going to draw 4. He's going to draw 3, and I'm also going to get Night Assailant's effect. I draw into Knock, Tsukiyomi, Solemn, and Ring. He draws Call, BLS, and Solemn. So I get back my Mask of Darkness because I feel like Faith is just not that great to get back right here. So I Snatch Steal this Reaper just to get it out of the way, and I set the Solemn, the Ring, and the Mask of Darkness, and I set the Knock, and I just pass. Screw it, set it all. He draws into Tsukiyomi, so he's going to go for the Dark and Light here, BLS, and I instantly just Solemn Judgment it. Can't play with that. Pay half my life points. He sets Solemn and sets Call of the Haunted, and passes. I draw into a Jar of Greed, so I get my Sinister back here. And I decide to flip the Mask of Darkness, and he Solemn Judgments it. So, alright, that's just out of here. Out the ballpark. So, again, I'm not looking too good with this game, but I decide to run Tsukiyomi out, and then I just knock his monster, and I try to get him for 11, and he Mirror Forces it. So, okay. I set the Jar of Greed, and I just pass. He draws it to Solemn Judgment. He's going to call the Haunted the Koki. And he tries to go to battle, and I instantly just ring. So putting me down to 1450 and him down to 1100. He sets Solemn and sets Tsukiyomi and passes. I in-phase Jar of Greed into a Duo, which is pretty dead. I set the Duo, and I set the Mask of Darkness and just pass. He draws into a Regeki Break. So I draw into Thunder Dragon here. I flip Mask of Darkness, and he just says he doesn't want no part of that, and he Solemn Judgments it. So, okay, that's fine. Yugioh. Let's make sure this is still recording, because this has been messing up a little bit. So then I just discard my Thunder Dragon, and I grab myself 2 more. I set the Sinister, and I pass. He draws into a Faith. I draw into a Wing Blast here, so I tribute the Sinister. For a Thunder Dragon, I set the Wing Blast face down, just in case it is Morphing Jar. I don't really know, he could be on Morphing Jar. I hit into his Faith. I don't hit the old one, I hit the new one. He grabs back his Book of Life. And then I decide just to duel him. Ring of Destruction is not gone, but it will be a tie. And then he chains the Regeki Break, and he targets the Thunder Dragon. He top decks into a Vampire Lord, and this is like the best case scenario for me here. Because he tributes the Tsukiyomi for the Vampire Lord, which you pretty much just have to do, because you can't win, like, you have to do it. I don't blame him doing this. He doesn't know I have, well, I guess he did know he knew I had Wing Blast, I think. Did I get it back? No. Wait. Yeah, I did get it back. No, but I discarded that one. Okay, so you know I had it. And that is the game, because he's going to draw Vampire Lord on top of his deck. So that's one reason why Wayne Blast is a lot better than Regeki Break. There's one situation right there. If that was Regeki Break, I probably wouldn't have won that game. I would have Regeki Break the Vampire Lord, and it would have been over. It would have just came back, and he would have got me. So I got game 1. We'll go to game 2 here. He opens pretty nice here. Mirror Force, Faith, Regeki Break, Sinister, and Pre with Pot. He Pot agrees into Faith and Graceful. So yeah, this is just a wrap. There's nothing I can do. He Gracefuls into Vampire Lord, Regeki Break, and Pyramid Turtle. He discards the Vampire Lord and the Sinister. He sets a Faith face down with a Regeki Break and passes. I draw into Breaker, which is okay, I guess, but this shit is just all but over with. I run Breaker out. He decides to not Regeki Break the Breaker, and I hit into his Faith, so he's going to go grab his Graceful back, and it's just curtains. There's nothing I can do. It's GG, no re, so we'll be going to a game 3 for sure. There's just nothing you can do when people draw like this. It's just a wrap, no matter who you are, or what kind of, if you're a good player, it doesn't matter. So he draws Solemn, Book of Life, and Air Knight. He discards them all. He Premature Burials the Air Knight. Going for huge value here. I still tried to fight, but it just didn't go very well. So he hits me for the 300. He sets a Faith, sets Solemn, sets Regeki Break, and Mirror Force, and passes. I in-phase Jar of Greed into Kaiku, and then I draw Card Destruction, so I'm like, okay, maybe I can do something here. I just Card Destruction, and he throws out his whole hand, so do I. I draw 5, he draws 4. I draw into Tribe, Mask, Faith, Graceful, and Jar of Greed. I fire the Graceful, and he decides to not Solemn this. He's got Duo, Call, Judgment, and Demox, so like it really doesn't matter. He's got the shit. So I draw into like a BLS, I think a Faith and a Jar, I want to say. Maybe it was Sangin or something. So I discard the Sangin, and I discard the Mask of Darkness. I fire this Duo here because I just feel like there's no reason not to. Might as well just go for it. I pick his Call of the Haunted, which is a pretty clutch pick there. But it just really doesn't matter. He's got way too much advantage on me at this point. I summon Tribe. He says, okay, I think. Yep. I pop his Air Knight. Woo-de-doo. And then I just try to go for BLS here. And he Solemn Judgments that. So, yep, that is the game. There's nothing I can do. I hit. He doesn't even want me to attack his Tribe. He Regeki Breaks, discards a Demock, and I just scoop because there's no way. And he would have drew Reaper anyways that turn. So we'll go to a game 3. Let's see what happens in game 3 here. Game 3 is pretty interesting. I did come back on him. I opened Jar, Solemn, Breaker, Knock, Snatch Steel, and Thunder Dragon. So again, not that great of a hand, but is what it is. So I set the Solemn, set the Jar, and just pass. He's got Demox, Sangin, Heavy, Double Cost Down, Snatch, and Spirit Reaper. So he's going to fire the Heavy. I chain the Jar of Greed, and I draw into a Solemn. He runs out the Spirit Reaper on me. And he gets my Breaker, which is really bad for me, but I draw into a Duo, so this is pretty clutch here. I fire the Duo on him. And I roll a 1. I get his Snatch Steel, which is pretty nice. And he throws out the Double Cost in. I Snatch Steel the Reaper. I set Solemn and just pass. He draws into MST. He decides just to run Sangin out. I could have Solemn this, but I just felt like maybe I'll find a Chaos Monster, and there's just no reason really to Solemn it. So he sets the MST and passes. I draw into Night Assailant. I just pass. He draws into BLS, which is dead because he has no lights at the moment. Hits me for 1,000 again, putting me at 4,700. I say okay. I draw into MST. Thank God I didn't just blind MST here. I set the MST and pass. He does not in-phase MST, which is a pretty good play on his part. So he hits me for another 1,000, and then he sets the Pyramid Turtle and passes. I draw into a Deco, which is pretty clutch here. So I just knock his monster, and I set the Deco and pass. This Deco is really why I pretty much won this game. He came back. He draws into a Spirit Reaper now. And he goes to battle and hits, and it's a Stallmate, but I get to draw a card. I draw on a Tsukiyomi, which is pretty damn nice. Oh, let's see, okay. I run out the Tsukiyomi. He sets Reaper and passes. I run out Tsukiyomi, and he says okay, so I get to set this deco and draw another one. I draw into a Zanbara the Dark, which is pretty dead at the moment. And I decide to set Book of Moon, and I just pass. Now he decides to end phase MST, which kind of sucks because it's a Book of Moon. I'm thinking that I could just get blown out here and lose at any moment. He draws into Book of Life, which is pretty damn clutch here. So he decides to accidentally send the Sengen to graveyard, but he keeps it. And then he fires Book of Life. Now, I was thinking about Solemn Judgment in this, but I'm really glad I didn't, because it would have been really bad. So he gets the double cost down here, and then he decides to tribute it for Demok, and this is when I Solemn Judgment. I'm like, hold on, wait, think. Solemn Judgment, because there's no way I can let that resolve. He just gets Heavy Storm and blows me out anyways, and it's pretty much just over, so I just Solemn it. And he just passes. I draw into a knock here, which is pretty okay, I guess. So now I decide to run Tsukiyomi out, flip it down again. I draw into Tribe, which sucks. So at this point, I think that I'm still going to lose this game. I knock his monster, which is the Spirit Reaper. So pretty nice knock there. And I just pass. He draws into Solemn Judgment. I end phase MST it. He's still at 8k though, so I draw into Graceful Charity, so now I'm just like, I need to find a Chaos Monster. I have not seen a Chaos Monster this whole time. And then he shows me the BLS. It's funny as shit. So I Graceful into Mask of Darkness, Wing Blast, and Zanbara. So I just have advantage like crazy on this guy, but, I mean, if you don't got the cards, it doesn't really matter. If they're all monsters, like, what is your advantage doing? That's pretty much what they all are here. So I decide to set the Wing Blast, and I set the Mask, and I just pass. He draws into a Mirror Force, which is okay, I guess. He goes to battle, tries to crash into the deco, and I just say, you know, I just want to get this lock going here. So I discard Wing Blast. So Wing Blast was definitely the MVP in this match for sure. Like, it set guy back hugely and made him dead draw the Sangan for the next turn. He sets Mirror Force and just passes. I draw into a Faith. I flip the Mask of Darkness, and he just scoops because he knows I'm just going to keep whooping this. Like, I mean, I guess he didn't really have to scoop there because I would have probably summoned Tsukiyomi there, put down the Mask, and attacked, and then he could have Mirror Force, but I mean, you're literally just sitting with a Sangan, and I got all these cards that, like, he doesn't know what they are. He doesn't know they're just Zambiras and Faiths and shit, but, I mean, yeah, it was a real good game, though. GG loser. GG loser, GG. Not calling you loser, but GG loser, alright? Y'all hit the like, hit the sub. Have a good day or night. Peace out. Bye.